Hello and welcome to our holistic wellness clinic. Can I interest you in a cup of tea? Well, we have, we have some peppermint, green tea, lemon balm, Earl Grey, and chamomile. Okay, let's just grab a cup here and a spoon. Let's go ahead and get your selection out. As for sweeteners, we have a few different options. We have a multifloral wildflower honey. We have a black locust honey, which would go quite nicely with your tea selection. Black locust honey is quite dark in color and it has a minty taste to it. It means that the bees from the apiary that we got our honey were primarily getting pollen from black locust flowers. They smell like candy when they bloom. We have demerara sugar, or we have stevia if you prefer a non-sugar alternative. Now, was there anything I could help you with today? I see. Well, if you're interested in our services, I'm going to ask you a question that might sound a little bit strange. Just bear with me. Do you mind if I have a look at your tongue and at your pulse? Okay. If you could just stick out your tongue for me. Okay, and I might have you put it back in your mouth for just a minute and a second. Your tongue starts to darken when it's out of your mouth after about 15 seconds. So right here I'm seeing some red bumps, some redness at the tip of the tongue. Would you mind just putting your tongue back in your mouth? Good. And if I could see it once more. And it looks quite pale. And I'm seeing some swelling here, but the actual muscle in the middle here is quite thin. So definitely there is some heart involvement with the tip of the tongue and that redness there. And I'm thinking we have some blood deficiency here, maybe some spleen involvement, maybe some dampness as well with that bit of swelling there. And go ahead and put your tongue back in your mouth. Right. Now, if you wouldn't mind, I would like to see both of your wrists what I'm going to do is take your pulses at 3 locations and 3 different depths on each side. That way I can get a good overview of what's going on in your meridians. I'm just going to set your cup to the side and just going to feel each position here on your hands, if you wouldn't mind just putting them on the table. Okay, so let's see what we've got on our first hand. Okay. Alright, so it's quite thin. Okay, and the other side. Definitely thin and a little thready, a little choppy there. Okay, so I think we're definitely on the right track. Blood deficiency and have the heart involved with that. I think we can roll out the liver, spleen, but I want to focus on the heart with that, I think. So if you'd like, I would love to go through what our clinic offers. Okay? Alright, let me get out our digital menu here. This is our clinic offerings menu. We have 3 different sections here: massage, premium massage, and specialty treatments. In the massage category, we have classic massage, myofascial release, as well as lymphatic drainage. In our premium massage category, we have different offerings of Eastern style massages, like Thai yoga massage, in which your practitioner will basically be stretching you and contorting you into different positions to get a little bit of flexibility, to help ease some muscle tension. We have a Thai Taksen massage, in which special massage hammers are used. We have Tibetan Kunyi massage, and we have a Japanese Anma massage. In our specialty treatments, we have medicinal or cosmetic acupuncture, ear, hand, or foot reflexology. We have herbal hair treatment, which uses a blend of herbs based on your scalp and your hair type. We offer a Gua Sha Head Treatment, in which we use a Gua Sha tool. And we have a cupping therapy, moxibustion, using Chinese moxa or artemisia. We have nutritional counseling, in which we can look at your current diet and see where maybe we can moderate some things, where we can add other things to make sure you have all of your daily nutrients. And we have a traditional Chinese medicine apothecary, in which they can carry out prescriptions. They can give you herbal supplements to treat different things, like the blood deficiency we were talking about. The last thing we have is sampler packages, in which we have different treatments, primarily from the specialty treatment column, and you choose one from each section, and we put all 3 together into a sort of custom treatment. We have the Gua Sha Head Treatment, the herbal hair treatment, or a classic head massage, in the first column. In the second, we have medicinal acupuncture, cosmetic acupuncture, and cupping therapy. Now, the difference between medicinal and cosmetic acupuncture. Medicinal would be treating any sort of deficiency, excess, issue in the meridians, whereas cosmetic acupuncture is mostly focused on the face. It's focused on relieving problems and lifting the face, stimulating collagen, that sort of thing. Cupping therapy, we use glass or wooden cups, and these are really great for relieving muscle tension, breaking up the fascia a bit so we get rid of those stuck areas in your back, in your legs, for example. And then we have the last section. We have ear, hand, or foot reflexology, or moxibustion, like we talked about, where we burn that Chinese moxa for its health benefits. Now, as for my personal recommendations for the heart blood deficiency, so when we see this kind of constitution in a person, this kind of condition, we often see that they have a lot of fatigue with insomnia as well. They get a lot of muscle aches and tension. You might have poor focus, concentration, and memory. You might be a little anxious. You get frequent headaches, and you might look quite pale actually as well. So this is usually treated within traditional Chinese medicine with diet, herbal medicine, moxibustion, and acupuncture. So as far as diet goes, if you wanted to see our nutritional counselor, they would go over that more in depth with you, see what maybe we can moderate and what more we can add to build up that blood. But here, this is going to be more warm cooked foods as opposed to cold raw foods. You would add more dark leafy vegetables like spinach, a lot more meat, especially a red meat. We have eggs, grains, root vegetables, as well as adding berries and cherries. So pretty tasty overall, not too hard to implement, but we want to make sure that we are doing what you feel is best and what you want to go with, and we can tailor our treatments to that blood deficiency sort of situation. Does that make sense? Okay. Do you want to pick out any of our treatments at all? Okay, let me go ahead and just jot this down. So, what were you thinking about? Okay, the sampler package. That's a really great one for people who are trying to just dip their toes into some of our specialty treatments. And what from that package did you want to go with? Okay. Okay. Yes, we can absolutely do that. And I actually had someone cancel just recently. And if you'd like, we can do that treatment right now. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. I do get this question a lot. So, we're interested in the medical acupuncture, but not a big fan of the needles. Yes. We can actually change that instead to get you a little more dipped in. We can change that to acupressure instead. So instead of using needles, we will use our fingers to stimulate those points. That would be more than fine. Okay, yeah, let me just jot that down. So no needles, and we're switching that to acupressure. That is no problem at all. let me go ahead and get you set up, get you all cozy in your room, and we'll start the treatment. Now, we are all set up in the room. Are you comfortable? Okay. Any particular preference to the order that we do our treatments today? Okay. I have a little general order that I like to do. So I would love to start with the Gua Sha Head Treatment. And to start, I'm going to be combing your hair with this bamboo comb here, just to get any tangles or snarls out of the hair. Do you mind if I touch you and comb out your hair? Okay, thank you. So, just start right here. Yeah. Our Gua Sha treatment actually uses two Gua Sha tools. They are both made of jade, and Gua Sha in Chinese means to scrape. And I will illustrate a little bit more about what that means when we get out our tools. Just going to get some of the back here. Mostly everything is untangled, but there's also that relaxation element with someone combing, taking care of your hair. Especially when it's done very gently, with respect to your hair. Making sure that we're being careful. Let me show you the tools real quick. So this is a Gua Sha tool. This one is suitable for the face. There are different edges to the tool. This particular edge is good for the jaw. We're mostly going to be working with this one right here. And the other one is a darker jade, and this is a comb, and these little edges here are excellent for multiple points of Gua Sha stimulation on the scalp. Now, I want to make sure that I'm not getting into any areas that are tender or painful at all. So I'm going to use my comb to gently tap along your head. Let me know if there's anywhere that doesn't feel very nice, that doesn't feel pleasant. We'll avoid that area. Anything feel tender at all? Okay. Pretty normal. Good. Just going to make sure. Okay. Well, do let me know if at any point any of it does not feel very nice, okay? Okay, so let's start with this tool. And I'm going to come here, and what we're going to do is use the tool just like that to scrape along the scalp. Just like that. Does that pressure feel okay? Okay. So what we're doing here, we are encouraging blood flow, fresh circulation. Bringing the blood to the scalp. Promoting healthy hair growth. Relieving tension in the scalp. Addressing headaches from stress or tension. We will definitely make sure to comb your hair out afterwards, because we're going to be roughing it up a bit at the scalp. Pressure still okay? Good. Just using these little short strokes from the back of the head forward. And the scalp is getting quite warm here. And I can see that erythema there, which is good. That's blood flow. This also works to help manually exfoliate the scalp. Let's see our Gua Sha comb. This is where we really see the hair get roughed up. We have all these little points here. Little massage here. And it doubles as a comb to help tame some of the hair here. Some of this smoothed out. There we go. And then after this, we are going to be moving on to the hand reflexology massage and finishing with the acupressure. And with the acupressure, to get you kind of acclimated to the idea of acupuncture, I'm just going to perform it in the same way, the same routine. The only difference is we won't get the needles. So I'll show you how that procedure goes. Might put your mind at ease a bit. But if you're just not a needle person, that is okay. That is okay. I don't want to work the scalp too much. We don't want to end up hurting the skin. So when we get to a certain stage of erythema, that's when we want to soothe everything down. Okay, that looks real nice. Your hair looks even just a smidge bit neater than when you came in. That's what we want to aim for. So if you wouldn't mind letting me see your hands. What I'm going to be doing is I'm just going to be thumb walking along the hand, and you tell me if there are any tender spots at all, and that can tell me that maybe there's something going on in the area that corresponds to. So I'm just going to work up your right hand here, and the whole hand is involved all the way to the wrist. And essentially every body part and organ is plotted on the hands. So we have everything from the appendix to the eye, to the lower back, the foot, the heart. So can you tell me if any of this is painful or tender at all? Okay, interesting. Alright, so if I press right here, there's just a little bit of kind of an achy feeling. Okay, yep, and that corresponds to your upper back right here. So I'm going to press in here, and we're just going to hold that for a few moments to treat that area. So you can do reflexology on the feet and the ears as well. And they all have different zone maps or areas that correspond to a spot in the body. Okay, what about right here? Yeah, that would be your head. So we are going to press in there and just get a little bit of a stationary circle in there so that we can treat that area. Good. Good. There we go. I'm just going to give everything a little dose of attention here, of treatment, and then we can move on to your other hand. Okay, coming up the middle finger and back down again. Good, and the wrist. Okay, let's go ahead and check the other hand and see if there are any specific areas that are painful or tender. Okay, right about here. Okay, so that actually right there corresponds to the spleen. We're just going to keep that in mind, and then we'll come back to it after our reflexology diagnosis here. Just pressing in my thumb and walking it to the next point. What about right here? Okay, so that is your low back right there. Oh, and the wrist here. Okay, so let's go ahead and just come back to the spleen. We're going to hold this particular point and stimulate it. It doesn't surprise me at all that the spleen needs a little bit of support here. When I looked at your tongue diagnosis and your pulse diagnosis, there was some indication that we had some weakness going on in the spleen, which is common with a lot of stress. Let's go to that low back point here. So, with the support of the acupressure as well, we should see that blood deficiency, the heart improve, and then the spleen should follow. Okay, let's go ahead and thumb walk the whole hand here and give everybody a bit of support. There. So your hands might be just a touch sore after this. Reflexology can have a bit of a firm hand to it, like a firm hand massage. But it shouldn't last more than, a few hours maybe. Probably by the time you go to bed, it'll be good. Okay. Have you noticed any other sore spots at all? Okay, good. And the wrist here. Okay, so for your particular condition, we have some prescribed acupuncture points that we are going to work with. And the very first thing that I would do in an acupuncture session is we are going to clean these spots. Little cotton ball. And some alcohol. Let me just get our alcohol and douse our cotton ball. Your particular prescribed points are going to be along the heart meridian, the pericardium, the Ren channel, and if we were doing a full session here, I would also have you turn on your back and we would get the bladder meridian as well. So our first point is on your left hand, and it's going to be right on the wrist crease here on the ulnar side. So I'm going to just clean this area there. And then our next one is going to be right in the middle of the wrist, and it's going to be what's called tu sun, below that wrist crease. Just like that. Good. Our next one is going to be along the abdomen. So I'll just have you lift your shirt and we will get 3 points. There's going to be one above your navel right by the xiphoid process, one just above that, and one below the navel. Do you mind if I get those spots? Okay, so we have 3 sun inferior to the umbilicus. We'll get that one. We have 6 sun superior to the umbilicus, right here. And 7 sun superior and inferior to the xiphoid process, right here. Okay. So, at this point, I would get our single-use disposable needles. I would take them out of their sterile packaging, and then these ones are going to be a little on the longer side. So I would take them, I might have a little guard, and then tap them into place. You essentially wouldn't feel them, but here I'm going to just take my finger and we're going to stimulate each point. So ulnar side of the wrist, right at the transverse crease here, and I'm going to press in quite firmly here. We're going to hold this. Normally with the acupuncture needles, I would be leaving these in for about 10 to 15 minutes. But here, we're just going to hold for a little bit. Good. Okay. So that one is our Heart Meridian 7, Shen Men. And our next one is Pericardium 6, Ni Guan. So this one is too soon below the medial wrist here. We're going to press right into there. So these are all to support that blood deficiency and help your body build up that energy. Good. Okay. Excellent. Now for our other ones here, we have Ren 14, Ren 15, and Ren 4. So we're going to do the 6 sun above the umbilicus here. And I'm just going to press in right here. We'll just stimulate this point. Are you feeling any pain or discomfort at all with this point? Okay, good. Good. Okay, and then I'm going to do 1 sun superior to that point. And this is our Zhu Wei point. Good. So, since we are stimulating these points, you might feel more fatigued than usual, and you'll want to have a lot of rest, light meals, lots of water. Okay, and our last point, Ren 4, is Guanyan, and this one is 3 sun inferior to the umbilicus. We'll stimulate this point here. And then I'll show you how we close out the acupuncture session. Okay, so what we would do is we would take out each needle, and as we take that out, we're going to close the point. So we'll come to our first one along the heart meridian. So I would pull out the needle and close the point. And then our pericardium point, close the point. Good. And then our 3 Ren channel points. Close that. And our next Ren point. And lastly, the Guanyan point here. There we go. So, after that, I would let you relax if you needed to. Some people feel a little sleepy, a little dazed after an acupuncture treatment. So if you needed to, I would just let you hang out for a bit. But if you would like to move on with the rest of your day, you're more than welcome to. It's up to you. Okay. Alright. Is there anything else I can do for you today? Okay. Excellent. I really hope you enjoyed the sampler package here at our holistic wellness clinic. I hope you have a whale of a day and a good rest of your night. Thank you. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And a big thank you to my patrons on Patreon, without which I would not be able to make these videos. If you'd like to help support the channel, the link to my Patreon is in the description box. I offer perks like early access to videos, Patreon exclusives, and audio downloads of all of my releases. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a whale of a day and a good rest of your night.